Hello and welcome to this Let's Play of the new Mortal Empires campaign in Total War Warhammer 2. Now if you didn't know already, Mortal Empires is available for all players who own both Total War Warhammer 1 and 2. The campaign includes every legendary lord and race released so far, except for the Norskans, who will be added soon as well, and it puts them all on a giant map featuring both the old and the new world. In this Let's Play, we are playing as the Empire. It's currently turned 97 and we have already established ourselves in the old world quite nicely. In this game, I decided to go for a defensive and economic strategy, which explains the fact that we only control a limited number of provinces at the moment. Reichland is our strongest province, with a nice amount of upgraded buildings and income. We are also able to recruit some of the strongest units in our roster. At the moment, we have almost upgraded Altdorf to its maximum level as well, which gives us access to some powerful new buildings, like the Imperial Palace, which grants nice faction-wide recruitment and public order bonuses. Another landmark in Altdorf is Castle Reichsguard, which has given us the chance to recruit some powerful Reichsguard units. In order to construct the Tier 5 buildings, we need to acquire a significant amount of money, and unfortunately, our income isn't that great at the moment, so we have to do something about that. Earlier in the campaign, we managed to confederate with Wissenland, which has granted us ownership over their regions. The vampires of the von Carsteins immediately declared war on us after this, but we have managed to defeat them in battle and capture their regions in Stirland and Averland as well. Finally, we occupy the dwarf hulls in the southern Grey Mountains. In Warhammer 1, you were only able to raise or sack these types of settlements with a human faction like the Empire, but in Mortal Empires, you are able to occupy every region on the map. The climate here isn't optimal though, but we managed to get the province and its populace fully under control. I've tried to maintain friendly relations with all of my neighbours as part of my defensive strategy. Things are paying off, as we're only at war with one small beastman tribe, but some other factions are slowly turning hostile as well. Our western regions are surrounded by the dwarfs of Carrick Ziflin. The Darwi were once useful allies, but now they are slowly turning against us, and unfortunately, I only have a small army in Altdorf to defend these parts. More potential enemies can be found in the east, as we now share borders with the cursed vampire counts. Supreme Patriarch Balthasar Gelt is defending this area with a significant force, so we should be fine for now. The north is mostly controlled by various friendly Empire provinces. We are even allied with Boris Todbringer's Middenheim at the moment. The dwarves are currently the strongest faction in the southeast, and luckily they are friendly towards us as well. There are more races and potential allies in this area though, which is why I've sent an Empire captain to scout here. As you can see, the last defenders led by Krokgar have expanded quite rapidly, and these lizardmen have already entered the Badlands, so we will have to keep an eye on them. You might be wondering where our high army upkeep is coming from, considering the low amount of forces in our regions. In this campaign, we're actually going to try to form some new world colonies for our Empire of Men. A couple of turns ago, I sent an expedition in order to explore the new world. Our goal is to gain money to sustain our populace at home, and to conquer new lands and resources. The expedition has sailed to the Great Ocean via the River Reich, and entered the waters of the High Elves near Ulthuan. I thought about invading these lands, but then I took a look at the strength of the High Elves. It turns out that Lothan controls more than 30 settlements, and it feels the most powerful army in the campaign right now. They were also willing to trade, so there's no reason for me to attack. So, the expedition moved on and is now located near Vuls Anvil. Emperor Karl Franz leads the main force with some very strong units. He's also supported by the treasurer Federing Beckberg and his army of state troops. A warrior priest and an Empire captain are also here to scout during the journey. Let's not wait any longer and continue. Let's first move our warrior priest to explore our surroundings. It appears that we have found Lord Mazdamundi himself with a large force of lizardmen. It looks like he's trying to colonize or explore the ruins of the Monument of the Moon. If we check out the diplomacy screen, we can see that the lizardmen own quite a lot of regions over here, and they are allied to the High Elves as well, so it's probably better if we leave them alone for now. Let's move our other forces down to the south to see if there are any better lands for us to colonize.
Step to it.
Our Empire captain just discovered a mysterious treasure ship at sea. Our armies will take attrition in this area, but it's probably worth checking it out. So let's move our entire force in this direction.
I am Prince and
We'll have to cross the deep waters sooner or later anyway. There's not much else to do right now, so let's end the turn here. As expected, Mazdamundi pushed forward and occupied the Monument of the Moon. Let's use our warrior priest to explore more of the lizardmen territories.
Onwards.
We've just spotted another army down here, so it's probably best to avoid conflict with Hexoatl for now. Now, let's move our army to explore the treasure ship.
To the provinces. Let us move.
We have found some materials that would increase our income from buildings, and construction time is reduced for a couple of turns as well. We've also found a feather-toed torque, which is useful in battle against flying units. Let's put this item on our Grey Wizard in Karl Franz's army.
Bring me to my men.
It appears that our Empire captain has leveled up as well, so let's pick a new skill for him. He's only at level 2 at the moment, so this specialist skill will probably come in handy. Now, let's move him further down to explore the coast of Lustria.
March!
We have spotted the Temple of Telenkan, which is currently owned by the Sentinels of Zeti. Let's take a look at their diplomatic situation. Apparently, these lizard men control a couple of settlements on the Lustrian coast, but they are definitely not as strong as Hexoatl, judging by their strength ranking. They also lack any allies or trading partners, so they are probably a good first target for our expedition. We've also spotted a vampire lord fighting under the banner of the Vampire Coast. He is not at war with the lizardmen, but we should definitely keep an eye on him. Let's approach the coast with our armies now, and then check on our regions in the Old
My
World.
orders are to move. Do not take me for a fool.
The vampire counts are getting more and more angry with us, so it's probably a good idea to move Balthasar Gelt to the border.
Follow me. I am ready. Are you?
Outdorf will reach level 5 in only one turn, so that will provide us with some extra income. Apparently, we are also able to research a new technology. There's a lot to choose from as we've constructed a lot of buildings, but it's probably best to go for the fishing fleet. This will give us some nice extra growth to develop our conquered lands in the New World. That's all for now, so let's end another turn. So Outdorf just reached level 5, which has unlocked our final building slot. We could just get an economic building right now, but I'll save the space for our unique Imperial Palace landmark. The upgrade has increased our income quite nicely as well, so that will give us some money to develop our cities. Let's take a look at the situation in the New World.
Cleanse the Empire.
Let's move our warrior priest further down to
Onwards.
explore. He just encountered signs of another lizardman faction, who are apparently located further down south. The Sentinels have reinforced their temple city with a small garrison, but it won't be enough to stop our large invasion force. Let's move our Empire captain to the coast.
Sir.
I'm actually sending him towards the neutral vampire lord, as it might help in completing my Amulet of Seagold quest chain from Balthasar. It requires me to perform a successful assassination attempt against an undead character, so maybe I'll have a chance to get that next turn. Now, let's declare war and invade the Lizardman city. Let's use both our armies in order to get the maximum amount of experience for our lords and
By
units.
Sigma's right.
Your disrespect will be your
Yes, my lord. Fight for our nation! To arms! To war! I command here. Let's go. Ulrich's will!
Now this battle is obviously in our pocket, so let's auto-resolve. There's not much money to be gained from looting, sacking or raising, so let's just occupy the settlement instead. The city already includes a wharf that will immediately boost our income. We need more growth to develop the city further though. Interestingly, Skaven corruption is quite high in this area, which means that the cursed ratmen must be close. 2 cities in this province appear as ruins, but I suspect these are probably infested by the Skaven.
Ready!
Fedorian Beckberg has leveled up in the battle, so let's give him a new skill. Honest Steel is pretty good here, as his army is filled with regular state troops. Let's also move Karl Franz towards the border,
the
as there are
comets.
more lands to conquer.
Moving off.
We're also able to construct some new buildings in the old world. Now, we could upgrade the moot, but this will not provide us with a lot of extra income. It's probably better to upgrade Wissenland, as I have lots of resource producing buildings there. That's all we can do now, so let's end this turn. Unfortunately, our trade agreement with the High Elf faction has just been dissolved, reducing our income. We'll need lots of money to upgrade our new cities and get to the Imperial Palace, so let's take the risk and disband our small army in Outdoor. That will help us to gain a little more each turn. Over in the New World, let's start off by sending our warrior priest further south.
The Empire. Sing battle hymns.
Let's also try to assassinate a vampire character in order to progress our quest. There are lots of targets in the army, but let's go for the action with the highest chance. Unfortunately, the attempt failed, so we'll have to try again in the future.
I am Prince and
Now,
Emperor.
let's conquer some more lands.
Make haste, men.
Let's first move Karl Franz towards the Temple of Kara. Talaxtalan seems to be another weak minor faction with a very low strength ranking, and no allies or trade partners at all. Let's just declare war and go after their cities as well. Let's move Beckberg to the border so he'll be able to reach the city next turn.
What does the Emperor bid?
That's all for now, so let's end another turn. Let's start the turn by conquering the undefended Temple of Kara.
Yes.
There's very little resistance, so this will be an easy victory
Raise
again.
your weapons. To war.
Let's rebuild our harbour to gain some extra income for our empire. If we take a look at Zahutek, we can see that we're not the only one going after this region. Clan Pestilence also sent a significant force to this area, so it's probably best if we move fast. Let's besiege the settlement immediately, as there's a large defending force inside.
Alric's will. Into battle. It is war.
Over in the Old World, the Vampire Counts just declared war on us. This is problematic, as we are now fighting wars in both theatres. Manfred von Karstein already invaded our lands, but Balthazar's experienced army should make short work of them, especially when reinforced by the local garrison.
By the comet. You summon me.
Let's fall back to our city and await their next attack. So far, we have successfully invaded the New World and we are slowly gaining a foothold there. Our income and wars in the Old World are problematic though, so I will definitely have to keep an eye on that. This is just one of the things you can do in the new Mortal Empires campaign. It's a giant sandbox campaign where you're able to set your own playstyle and objectives. Let us know how you are conquering this massive new world. Hopefully you enjoyed this Let's Play. Be sure to follow our socials to stay up to date on all Total War news and subscribe on YouTube for more exclusive Total War videos.